Hello friends and welcome to another video lesson from DBOS Talks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of new uploads. This video is in the playlist called Serious Fun with SQL, and here we'll be learning about the aggregate functions min and max. Okay, min and max in SQL. Min is short for minimum, which returns the smallest possible value, while max is short for maximum, which returns the biggest possible value. Okay, let's look at the data that we have right now. Select asterisk from supplier table. So we have 5 records in there, and the table consists of 3 columns: supplier ID, supplier name, and contact name. We can see that supplier ID column consists of numeric values, whereas the other 2 columns consist of non-numeric values, or what we may call string, or what we can call varchar or character. In Oracle, it's varchar too. Okay, so that's the contents, that's the data that we have in supplier table. Now, let's look at the possible scenarios for these functions, for the min and max functions, as we use them on this table. Okay, let's start with the min function, which is where in the syntax for min is like this. You'll use it in a select command. So min, the function, and then a parenthesis inside of that is a column name. The column name we're in the set of its values, you want to get the minimum or smallest possible value. Okay. So let's start with min being used on a numeric value. So min being used, the min function being used on a numeric value, meaning on a column which is of numeric data type. Okay, so let's do this select. Okay, it's incomplete. Select min supplier ID from supplier table, meaning select the min function, the min value in supplier ID column from supplier table. So as you see, this is everything that's in the table. There are 5 records. And you can see that if we focus on the column called supplier ID, its values are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Remember that the values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I if I run this query and trying to get the min of supplier ID, then I should be getting the value of 1, which is the smallest possible value in the column called supplier ID. So okay, let's try that now. When I run this, it should get me 1, and it gives me 1. That's correct. So you can see that that's exactly what the min function does. It gets the lowest possible value. In this case, we're trying it on a numeric value, on a column which is of numeric value. The second case we're going to use it on is trying a min on a non-numeric column, on a non-numeric value. In this case, the column called contact name, which is alphanumeric or at least non-numeric. Okay, select min contact name from supplier. Again, it will try to get the minimum value in whatever is the data or the values of the column contact name. Okay, so let's execute this one. And it gives me bill TAM. How is that? If we execute everything again, just so you can have a good look, I will select asterisk from everything from the supplier table. And let's focus on the column called contact name. You can see that the contact name values are this: John Doe, Bill Tan. Okay, so when we say select min, what we are telling SQL is that we want to get the value in this column the one which starts with the lowest possible letter, lowest in the ASCII order. If you can simplify it, if you want to make it simple, then think of it alphabetically, which will come first. So in this case, the one which will come first is the letter B. Biltans begins with the letter B, so that will come first, before the J, before the other J, before the P, before the G. That's why when you do a select min, it returns to you Biltan, right? That's min on a non-numeric value. Next is we will try a max, the max function on a numeric value. So again, it will, in this case, it's not the min, but it will get the highest possible value, which is numeric. Okay. So select max supplier ID from supplier. So earlier we've seen that the values of supplier ID are 1 all the way to 5. So 5 values, of which the highest value is 5, obviously. So if I run this query, it should give me 5, isn't it? And it gives you 5. Correct. So again, this example is, or this scenario is applying the max function on a column which is of numeric value. Now we will use the max function on a non-numeric value or column. Okay. Okay, so although it's being used on, I'm showing it to you in 2 ways. Performing the min and the max on a numeric value as well as a non-numeric value. On a numeric value is quite obvious for you because we know our mathematics, but in terms of a literal character, non-numeric, then just think of it. The minimum is whatever comes first in the alphabetical order, that will come first. That's the min. And whatever comes last in the alphabetical order, that will be the max among the list of values. So select max contact name from supplier. And it gives me Peter. So if again we look at everything that's in the table right now, which is the table has 5 records, and you can have a good look at the column called contact name, and you look at the letter that it starts with. It's J, B, another J, P, and a G. So the max here, or the one that will come last in alphabetical order, will be the letter P. That's why when I execute the select max on this non-numeric column, which is contact name, gives me the value of Peter. Okay. So there you have it. We've learned about the min and max functions, which are, of course, aggregate functions, but we're looking at it at 2 perspectives here. One being used on a numeric value or numeric column, as well as on a non-numeric column. It has its own definition of a min and a max. So even though it's not a number, but it's looking at the ASCII order of that character. In this case, if you look at the string and it will look at the first character of that string, then that will be counted, that will be considered when deciding whether it's the min or the max. Okay, thank you for watching and listening. If you haven't subscribed, please click subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.